Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about church modes and writing them for the advanced theory exam. Now I'm going to show you a little rhyme to learn it a little bit quicker. Some students have a problem thinking they have to memorize all the different modes. We will talk about the names, as I will show you right here. They are known as Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, and Locrian. Now I have a little rhyme. Now you can probably come up with your own rhyme, but this one seems to work with a lot of my students. And it is Ian does practice like mad at last. So now modes are scales that were used by the ancient Greeks. And just like our major and minor scales, there's still going to be 8 tones that we're looking at, from tonic to the upper tonic. But the modes for the church modes are just the arrangement of the different semitones and whole tones. And we're going to get through and showing you how you can use it with a rhyme. All right, here's a sample question. Okay, we have this line of music and you see that there's 2 sharps. Okay, the first thing you want to do though is you see this letter, you're going to write that letter down. Okay, so that's done. Now take a look at these sharps and let's collect them in the order. All right, so we have Father, Charles. So what comes after C in the musical alphabet? D. So we know we're in the key of D major. All right, so now because we got to go from G, we got to figure out what the mode is, the name of the mode. So we're going to go from G to the key, which is D. So how many is that? That's 1, counting the note. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go back to our rhyme. What was 4? Ian does practice like. So that's Lydian. So we're going to write down that this is G Lydian. All right, let's do another one. Okay, so you see the next question? You see that that first letter is an A. So write A. Okay, it has to be that letter. The accidental that we see there is for B flat. Well, what key do we know is for B flat? We know it's for F major, right? I hope you know that. So here, we're going to take it from the letter A. Okay, there's A. And we're going to go down to F, the key it's in, all right, that B flat is in. So that's 1, 2, 3. There's your F. A to F is 3. So to our rhyme, Ian does practice, which is Phrygian. So all you're going to do is you're going to say A, Phrygian. All right? Let's do one more. The next question, we see that it's a B. So write down your B. Now collect your accidentals in the order, all right, of your key signature. So we see Father, Charles, goes, and I always use rhymes, down. So what comes after D in the musical alphabet? E. We know we're in the key of E major. So now let's take this letter that this mode is in, B, all right, there's your B. And what was the key that those 4 sharps were in? E major. So now we're going to count down. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to our rhyme, Ian does practice like mad. That's Mixolydian. So what you're going to do is you're going to say B, Mixolydian. There you go. Because they could also ask you, all right, just so you can see how this makes sense. Okay, we're going to show you an example that they could ask you in an exam. All right, you might be asked a question where you have to write the mode out. So write the following scales, ascending and descending, in the clefs provided using whole notes. Okay, now, so the first one they want here is Lydian mode starting on E flat. Okay, so we're going to be working the same thing, but we're going to write it now. So the first thing you want to do is you see this letter, you want to write your E flat. So let's take it from the bass clef. Remember what clef you're in, all right, so your E flat. Then let's write out the whole scale. So E, F, G, A, So just one octave. B, C, D, E flat, remember? D, C, B, A, G, F, and then we have our E flat. Okay, so now we have to, they want the Lydian mode. So remember like the other one, they had it written down what it was? Okay, so remember the letter, the first letter is the first note of that scale. So Lydian, let's take a look at our rhyme. So Lydian, Ian does practice like, is which one? The fourth one. So if we go from E flat, okay, and let's count 4 down, like from the letter name itself, so E. 1, 2, 3, 4, we land on B. Now we can't use the key signature for B major, because as we know, that has 5 sharps. So we use B flat major. Why? Because B flat major also has an E flat. So what is the key signature for B flat major? It's battle, so we got to put that, what's missing, in front of the B, because the E is already there. All right? Remember the opposite, when they had it, we had to collect the flats. We would see, okay, we collected B flat and E flat. All right, so we know that's the key signature for B flat major, because the second last flat always tells us the key we're in. So if we started from that letter E, and we would go down to B, 1, 2, 3, 4, Ian does practice like. So E flat Lydian. All right, let's take a look at the other one. So it's the same thing as we were doing. Now let's put my happy face guy back up here to hold him up. They want now the Dorian mode starting on B. Okay, so let's write the B first. Now this is the treble clef. All right, let's do the rest of the scale. Give yourself room so that you can write in accidentals. B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B. All right, so they want Dorian. So which one was Dorian? Ian does. It's the second one. So if we take it from here, from the B that we started, what is the second one? 1, 2. It's an A. In A major, would we play a B like that? Yes. So what's the key signature for A major? It is Father Charles goes. And they're sharps, right? So you're going to put the sharps now in front of the notes. C, D, E, F, G. And then you have yours coming back. You don't have, if you don't have a bar line, you don't have to do it back, but I always do both sides, going up and down. So this is now B Dorian. So remember they were saying to you before the question, we're going to do the same thing as we did there. Name what type it is. All right, it's a B. What type of scale this is. So we know that the first one was B. We were going to write B. We're going to collect our scale, our accidentals, which here were Father Charles goes. Okay, so what key was that? A major. We went back to see what was A from B. All right, so it's 2. 1, 2. Always count the note. 1, 2. So Ian does. So it would be B Dorian. All right, so here's just another question that was asked in one of the exams for the advanced rudiments. We see here, it's not a treble clef or a bass clef. You could have a different clef. This one's the alto clef, and I always say, tell students remember that because you see it's in the middle, so think of the A. So these are movable C clefs. So this is just tells you where middle C is. So we're just going to count, it's just more work, but we're going to go C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. So we know that that is a C sharp. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. All right? So remember, this is like the first one that we were doing. They want to identify the mode that it is. So we know that the first one is C sharp, so we can say it's C sharp, okay? Collect the sharps, so we know this is C, D, E. Just in case you don't know, you can write it underneath for yourself, okay? So we had the Father Charles goes down. It had 4 sharps. So what key is that? E major. Okay, because E major has 4 sharps. So let's take it to the E, or from the C sharp, because that's the name of the mode. Okay, so for the letter C, but that's the C sharp. And let's go. E major is where? All the way over here. So we're going to go down. Let's see how many that is from the letter names. 1, counting the letter C, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so 6 down. So Ian does practice like mad at. So you would say C sharp, Aeolian. All right? Because even if I went from C, and we know it's Aeolian 6, we'd go C, B, A, G, F, E. E major has 4 sharps. So you see, it's always the same thing. You're going to go from the letter name down to the key. So here's one more. D is the first. Okay, that's the note because it's a treble clef now. We only have 1 sharp. What is that? It's an F sharp. What key? F sharp, of course, is G major. All right, so we're going to take it from the letter name D. That's the mode. What key was it? G. Counting the letters, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ian does practice like mad. Mad was for Mixolydian. So you're going to say D, Mixolydian. So hopefully that helped. Now you can download, I made this as a PDF at pianoscales.ca just for the rhyme, unless you want to make up your own rhyme. But remember, the mode, you're just going to have to get the first letter name, all right, and then gather up the key signature so that you know what the key signature will be. So from the letter name, we go down to the key. You're going to count how many letters that was in between, and that would be the mode name with that first letter. So I hope that helps, and we'll see you soon.